Hello, welcome to the Courageous Military Spouse. My name's Amber and I'm going to be teaching you today. This is part of my yoga basics series where I break down individual poses and go over how to get into them and different variations for maybe what works for your body, especially tailoring to those who may be pregnant or in the early first couple weeks, months postpartum period, as that is my secondary area of expertise. So today we're going to go over reclined bound angle. This is one of my all-time favorite postures. It requires lots of props. This is a restorative posture. So there's supposed to be no effort from your body. These poses can be challenging in that they require stillness. And so it's easy for your mind to race or for you to feel antsy, especially if you're not used to slowing down. And that's why we need these postures, is it's intentional rest, intentional time to be. I particularly like doing this one in pregnancy and early postpartum because it really just allows my body to relax. You sink into the props. The concept is like there's no jobs for you to do right now. There's nothing for you to do. The only ask that I have is that you rest. The goal is that you are as comfortable as possible. So, with that being said, we need some props. If you don't own any yoga props, that's totally fine. I will be giving alternatives. I will set up with my props just because that's how I do it and what I have. But I will share other alternatives, like especially if you are in the middle of a PCS and maybe you're trying to do this in the hotel room. Whether you have kids or not, it doesn't really matter. If you're trying to do this in a hotel room, it's going to be challenging, but worth it. So when I practice, I typically use 3 blocks. So one goes at my head. You can play with the height. You can play with the direction too. It's really a matter of figuring out what is most comfortable for you. So if you are pregnant or have heartburn issues, you can do, I wouldn't do all the way this high up because it's just kind of wobble, because you're going to rest the bolster, or if you don't have a bolster, a bed pillow on this, and that can just knock it over. So you could do this setting where it's like the medium setting or the lowest setting, and then you can have it uh, so that way it's like the long edge is parallel with the short edge of your mat, or you can turn it so it's kind of going the same shape as your mat. And you just have to play with it and see what feels good. And like some days one way feels good and other days another way feels good. So it really is just a gamble. And then next we have our bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, a bed pillow will work just fine. I've heard people say they like couch cushions. Every time I've tried couch cushions as an alternative to a bolster, it doesn't work well. So I don't know. I guess if you have a really small couch, maybe a couch cushion would work. But I think that bed pillows is probably a better alternative. So you're going to take your bolster or bed pillow and you're going to lay it long ways, because your tailbone, your back, is going to go up to the edge, and then your head is going to rest on the top. So you're going to lay your spine on the pillow. Next, you need your other blocks. These are going to go under your knees. So I'm not sure. Hopefully you can see. So you're going to have like your legs in like a butterfly or a diamond shape, and you're going to slide the blocks underneath of your knees to support your knees. If you don't have additional blocks, you can grab throw pillows. And if you don't have throw pillows, you can roll up a blanket, roll up a sweatshirt. You could use other bed pillows, just kind of get creative, but some sort of something to prop your knees up on, so that way you have that support, so it's not pulling in your inner thighs too much, and you can really just sink into the props. And then last but not least, this can feel really good if you're especially anxious or jittery. Taking a blanket and laying it specifically over your pelvis. So that way the weight is kind of on your hips. That can really help give a grounding sensation. So once you have your props all set, you begin to lay your spine back. I know my head's going to be cut off from the video here, but my head is resting on the top of the bolster. My spine is supported by the pillows. My legs are supported by the pillows and the blocks. My arms are resting at my side. My gaze is towards the ceiling. Traditionally, I close my eyes when I do this practice. And then you can also, my hands are palm face up. That can be a more receptive approach if that's how you're feeling. I've often gotten some of my more creative ideas in this posture. Or you can have your hands on your palms on the earth. That can help you feel more grounded. Or if you still kind of need some grounding, but you want to have a posture of receptiveness, one hand down and one palm up can be a good variation. Once you're on the props, just lay here. Feel your body sink into the support. Notice the tension as it melts from your face. You can feel every point of contact on the mat and the prop. The edges of your feet, sides of your knees, your butt and hips, your spine, the back of your head, your arms. Feel them sinking heavy into your mat, the ground beneath you. You can stay here as long as you like. I'm going to make my way out of the posture, but I encourage you to stay here for a minimum of 5 minutes. When you are ready, start with slow and gentle movements, wiggling your toes and your fingers, rolling your wrists and your ankles, and making your way onto your side, resting there for a minute or two, and then pressing all the way up to a seat. Like I said, please stay in this posture as long as you like and allow your body to get the much needed restoration so you can come away from your practice feeling renewed and restored.